Okay, good evening, everybody. We'll get started here in just a minute. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Okay, I think we're good here on the audio side. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight and relaxing, hanging out. Awesome. We'll give it a couple seconds here, let everybody join in, and we'll get this live stream rolling. Let me start it off in the chat. Cool. Hope everybody's having a great night tonight. I don't know if any of you were able to join in earlier today for our sketch session. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you were able to join in earlier this morning or this afternoon. And if this is the first time you're here, drop your name in the chat. Appreciate it. Cool. Let's turn this off and get this rolling. Everybody, hey, how's everybody doing? Good to see you all. I hope you're all having a fantastic evening, and welcome to the live stream. We're going to have a little bit of a fun session tonight, a little bit different than previous Sketching After Hours sessions, but looking forward. We're going to be, we were doing an earlier live stream earlier today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and I was doing a lot of drawing, and we were doing sort of a master study. A lot of you friends out there said, hey, Polly, we'd like to see more master studies, and how do you study other artists and things like that. So I had thrown out, you guys threw out a bunch of names for me, so we're going to go through a lot of those names in the upcoming weeks. And one I sort of wanted to kick off with was a fantastic comic artist. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2016. Unfortunately, his name was Darwyn Cooke, and Darwyn Cooke did quite a few different fantastic, comics. He's a Canadian artist. Started off pretty early on. I remember reading that he started off in comics making like $35 a page, and that's not a lot of money getting started in, comic, for comic pages. But he was born in 1962. Unfortunately, like I said, passed away in 2016, but left an epic amount of artwork. He was a fan of the sort of the golden age. Just doing a little research on, Darwin was that he was inspired, by the Batman TV series that was in the 1960s, and that starred Adam West and Burt Ward, Cesar Romero as the Joker, and it was just Julie Newmar as Catwoman. It was I remember growing up around that time frame too, and just loved watching that show. It was very campy. Every hit went a pow or kabam. And that was the only type of. I know Batman came out in theaters and stuff like that, or black and white and stuff like that when it first came out. And most of us were used to the Batman 1960s show, and then when Michael Keaton donned the cowl and Jack Nicholson as the Joker in the 1989 Batman, that just, that was opened the door for Christian Bale and, all of the latest Batman series and stuff like that. But Darwyn Cooke did a little bit more, other than just drawing Batman. He did his sort of a few of his great titles of books is DC's New Frontiers. He did a Batman Spirit crossover. He did Richard Stark's Parker, The Hunt. you know, and did another book solo, and then did Batman Ego, in a variety of different Catwoman books. You know, he was known as a storyboard artist too, and did a lot of work, Batman animated series with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, and you'd see his storyboard intros and things like that for those shows. So fantastic artist, lots to learn from, and I was picking out the master studies for earlier today's live stream. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, go back. You see it with the purple with the Catwoman on it. That's it's sort of a focus on Darwin Cooke, on his style in terms of what it is. I learned a lot too looking at his work, and said, hey, this is be great for our Sketching After Hours session to go in a little bit deeper into how to put his shots together and composition and things like that. I thought he was very meticulous and very interesting to study, a different format of that artist, and how does it pertain to storyboards. And you, as a up and coming storyboard artist, what can you learn when you're doing master studies from other artists? So again, if we haven't met before, my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist, and I created this channel quite a while ago, and so happy, and it's just always so I'm so excited just to hang out with you friends out there, and I'm really humbled by the time you spend watching these videos. So I try to make them entertaining and interesting and teach something each time, and so you're getting the most out of it, so you can put this into your storyboard work, or a little light bulb clicks off in your head on how you can up your game and what you're doing. Let's say hi to Chikao, to Blender. Hey, I'm here, Paul. Have a good stream. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate you dropping in, Chikao. Anybody who's dropping into the chat, please, or on the live stream, please drop a comment, or in the live stream chat. I'm sort of talking in my office right now, in my office home studio. So feel free, drop a question, drop something in there. I got Buddha Belly just joining in. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in, and just drop by, say hi. So like I was saying before, we're studying. I got Marianne GR. Hey, how you doing? Glad you can join in. How did you guys like the earlier live stream today on Darwin Cooke? Was that good on that master studies? Just curious if you enjoyed it. We're going to go a little bit deeper now onto the visual storytelling of Darwin Cooke tonight, and have some fun with that. Again, if you enjoy the channel and what you're learning, please subscribe to the channel. Super appreciate that. Hit that, smash that, punch that bell notification button, because it helps to helps tell YouTube to remind you every time I have a new post and a new live stream coming to you friends. So let's get into tonight's topic. Let's turn off Big Polly. Boom. And let's go over here. I wasn't too happy with my earlier picture. I did a picture of a Wonder Woman, and I said, no, I can do better than that. So after studying a little bit more, did this sort of manga character here for Darwin Cooke's style. His I really, and if you haven't checked out his work, let me shut this down here. Let's get another new layer on here real quick. Okay, so I would ask you to invest the time as you're studying other artists, and like we were talking about, to find your style. I think it's important to not just find your style, but we were talking about it last week, is when you're finding your style, you're looking at other artists. And let me bump this up just a tad bit. Try this at 12. I always call it master studies. And you sit there and go, well, Polly, what's a master study? You know, and what I sort of do with that is I review you review other artists' style and work, and yeah, definitely Buddha Belly. Check out the replay; it was pretty cool. So master studies, we want to review other artists' style and work. You know, you want to study it. I know that's I can do better than. We want to study. Oops. You know what? I see what I did. I forgot to drop a layer on there. Let's go like this. Can't erase it because I didn't do it right. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Go back again. I want to study the why technique you want to study the why and technique and how they create their art. Don't copy, but take the items you like and put into your work. I think the other one is like incorporate. Okay, so when you're doing a master's study, like I said before, review other artists' style and work. Study the why and technique, how they created their art. Don't copy it. Don't just copy to copy's sake, you know, and don't push it off as your own. Just if you're copying, copy and just toss those pieces away. Um, and but when you're the process is to learn, you know, and take the items that you like about a certain artist and incorporate that into your own work or your style. And there's a lot to learn. You know, there's a lot of artists besides Darwin Cooke. You know, if you're into Alex Toth or Jordy Burnett, you know, there's so many different classical like comic artists, and I'm not just talking about, you know, comic artists. So who would you want to do master studies on? So who would you research? So who would you research or study? There's all different artists that you can study from. You can study from, you know, comic artists. You can study from animators. You know, talking old school Milt Call. You know, there's all different, you know, old school animators you could learn from, or today's animators. You know, or if you're into manga or anime, there's people you can study there. Like I said, comic artists, illustrators, painters, sculptors, storyboard artists. You could even go children's books. Illustrators. Filmmakers. Boop, 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 boop. And more. So you can learn from a lot of different people, you know, in terms of what you're doing, how do you go about that, you know, and like we said, master studies, review other artists' style and work. We talked about study the why and the technique and how they're creating their art. Don't copy, but take those items you like, just like you were evaluating your own artwork to find your own style, and incorporate that into your work. Maybe it's just the way they do thickening of lines. Maybe it might be composition. It might be color. You don't know, you know. But incorporate that into your style, and as the more you draw, you'll incorporate it automatically. I seem to do that myself. And then who should you study and research? There's so many different people to study: comic artists, animators, illustrators, painters, sculptors, storyboard artists, children's book illustrators, filmmakers, and many, many more. You know, if we're studying, you know, music, you know, we're going to go study, you know, different, you know, songwriters and musicians, and we're going to study all different types of things. So what can you learn from these individuals in terms to get better at your craft? Marianne says the master study was great. It helped me. It helped me to give more and more expression to my female faces. Very cool. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed that. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that earlier live stream, take a look at that. So cool. Let's turn that off real quick. Let's add another layer in here. So then you're asking, well, Paul, why are you picking Darwyn Cooke? So let's go up here. So the person that we're going to study or focus on tonight for a little bit is going to be the comic artist. And what I would say to you is Google him. Oops. And then you can see what I'm talking about with his work. I think his work is really dynamic. It's just got so much form and everything to it. I think it's really pretty in terms of his drawing style. Let's sort of give a quick show of Darwin's work here. There's someone here. So if I'm looking at Darwin's work, let's just see how big this is. I really like his work. I think his work is really beautiful, and it's simple, and I think that's what's attractive about it. He drew some beautiful artwork and drawings of Catwoman and turn this down a little bit now. And his style is so just, if you see it, you'll get what I'm talking about. What's interesting is when I'm drawing his style, I had to sort of stop myself for a second, not do the things I typically do when I'm drawing. The other thing that he does too, he always uses this like a single color. You see some of his work. Yeah, I studied his work pretty well today. You can sort of get the idea. So I thought his has a great style. I love it. You know, in terms of the drawings that we do. But besides his drawing style of what he was doing, there was a. Hey Raul, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate it. Raul says, love your streams, all of them. Cool. Yeah, no problem, Raul. Welcome to the live stream. Happy you can join us today. So here's some points. Change the brush here, and this is why we're studying Darwin today. So not bad for just free doing it. Cool. So like I said, we're talking about Darwin Cooke today, and I picked him out because why Darwin's work. I like the clarity. I like the clarity of his drawings. Simplicity, okay? I like the simplicity of his drawings as well. But don't be fooled at the simplicity and thinking, oh, well, he's just drawing simple. It's not very complicated. He has a lot of composition and a lot of meaning and a lot of important information. I think artists that can draw with as few lines as possible um, really have a command of design, of drawing, of form, of figure, of so many things. And a lot of us get really scratchy, even my work too, you know. And you're trying to get better and better at what you do. And I think Darwin's work is great because of the simplicity of with this, you know, there's a ton of detail that's so simple. Um, just see lots of detail. With such few lines. And there's a lot of you know, artists that do that too. Alex Toth, if you've seen Toth's work, is just great like that. You know, I think he has a handle, and this is where it comes into storyboarding. Okay, as a storyboard artist, clarity is king. You know, let me write that down over here. So to read a comic, or excuse me, a storyboard shot, clarity is king. Let me write that down here. Clarity is king. It has to be. Okay. You need to be clear in your storyboards in terms of what you're doing. And when you have an artist like Darwyn Cooke and is focused on clarity, that's awesome, and that's awesome to see. Is that you need that clarity is king, okay? In terms of what you're doing, simplicity. I think this is important. It's important for speed. And focus of shot. Okay. I think one more thing. Let me go back over here. To write about him. I think another thing that you can look at Darwin's work is um, his beats. Of storytelling. Or just his patterns. You know, he has a very, when he's drawing each of his shots, there's meaning and depth behind each shot, and it's sort of like a musical song where you're listening to the beats of the song, and he's hitting it, and in his pacing, you know. So when you're looking at the beats and his pace, let me write that down there too. Pace. I think they're just excellent. And if you get a chance to read any of his comic work, you can see this in action. He's fantastic at establishing shots and cutting to give you the essence of where you're at. And I think it's very neat. As a storyboard artist, you can learn a great deal from that is just by viewing his comic work. I just think his pacing is fantastic. There's a beat, there's a rhythmic pacing in the way he creates his shots. And you, as a storyboard artist, there's a lot for you to learn watching that pacing. And it's like a song when you're looking through his comic work, and it's like if and he knows how to hold the audience, the viewer, and sort of pull back, or it's sort of like 1, 2, bam. He's got this rhythm, in terms of what he's doing. And if you think about it, just if it's a multitude of shots going bam, 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 boom, he's really got that put together. And as you're learning all the dynamics of storyboarding, not just drawing pictures, now we're talking filmmaking and pace and editing of your shots and pam, pam, pam. How do you make that hit? You're looking at somebody like Jackie Chan, where it's like a setup, and that's why Jackie likes to do establishing shots and does a wide shot pretty much for his fight sequences because it sort of builds up. And when you're seeing other martial art films and things like that, you could sort of just cut, and there's all these different cuts to do it. Jackie's showing the artistry of the body language and everything going this way or that way within his shots. They're all wide shots. And if you look at Darwyn Cooke's work, if you're looking at his shots, he does cut in to a mid shot or a close up or something like that. But if you look at a lot of his shots are wide shots, and it's done in wide shots too. So a lot to learn from that work. So I invite you to seriously go check out his work and see. I think I have a couple Darwyn Cooke's comics buried in my archives over here, but yeah, definitely check it out. And sort of learn about the pacing and what I'm talking about here. And that will help your work. So again, just to recap real quick, we're studying Darwyn Cooke. Google his name. It's Darwyn. Last name is Cooke. Check out his work. See if you can see any of his pages that he's done. Some great work. I love his simplification of his drawing, whether it be male characters or female characters. Just really, really good, and why we're studying Darwyn's work is because of clarity of his drawings. They are to the point. There's no frivolous extra lines. He gets right to you as a new budding storyboard artist or somebody who's trying to up their game. There's a lot to learn from that. Clarity is king, in terms of understanding the shot and what the story you're trying to tell within that shot. Simplicity, like I said, don't be fooled. Even though his images are very simple and straightforward and to the point and not using a lot of lines, it shows his command of design, of storytelling, of composition, of staging, of blocking of what he's trying to tell. And he's leaving the most important pieces. And he does a lot of establishing shots too, or just wide angle shots, because he's trying to give you a lot of information in those shots too. Because you think about what are the story points that you're trying to make within that shot. Every shot needs to count as a storyboard artist. You don't want frivolous extra stuff in there. You need to get to the point, and you're pushing those shots to make those scenes, sequences work for those scenes and that part of the storytelling of what you're doing. And again, I think Darwyn is excellent if he is trying to ramp up speed, slow speed down. Maybe he might put more panels into something to get you to, or more shots in there to get you to slow down a little bit, think a little bit, see the world, feel the world that you're engaging in. So a lot of cool stuff to learn. If you guys are enjoying tonight's live stream, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. Super appreciate it. Smash that like or that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification button, ding ding, so you are notified every time I post over here on YouTube. And again, drop a like on this particular video if you're enjoying yourself, and also drop a comment in the actual video itself. Besides the chat, it helps tilt the YouTube algorithm. Hey, we want to see more of the Polly's work out there, and we're learning a great deal from them. Please send me more. So I appreciate you guys. It's always a joy to hang out with you guys, and appreciate you joining me and spending your busy day with me. So cool. Let's get back into what we're doing here, and let's study now paneling a little bit here. And for our sketches, we're going to keep it pretty loose. We're going to use Darwin's work. He's always using a little bit thicker pen, and it keeps it pretty simple. It's either 3-color type of work too. Let me take a sip of my coffee here and we'll get into this. Okay, so let's do some characters and stuff. Let's draw here. Let's turn this all off. This is that drawing I first did. Yeah, he's a very cool style. Okay, let's go up here. Okay, I know I had a board. Nope. Where did I sneak you in there? Now, where did you go? There you are. Okay, so we got a storyboard panel here. I knew I had it somewhere. Okay. Let's have some fun with this. Let's copy this. Put this down there. Just make some panels for ourselves. Okay, let's move this like right there. Cool, cool, cool. You can see how quickly we're working here. Let's add a layer here. Okay, got some boards here. Drop down the opacity of it. There we go. Cool. Okay. So let's have a little fun here and get this going on here. Use a black here. Use a little bit thicker. Do something like a. Okay. Change our brush over here. Okay, so we got this all set up here. And sort of let's look at how we can do this. And I think what's cool about Darwin's work is it's always so simple here. So we got a shot here. Let's just say we're doing a shot, and let's just say we have a quick couple dancing, okay? And so we're going to keep it simple here. Just a tad more. We have and just think of simple lines and shapes. You have this character, and she's going to be dancing with another character here. He's dancing close to her. He's going to have her hand like that. So I keep it sort of simple here. As she's dancing with him, he keeps his work really simple in terms of how he's working. And let's just say that they're in the center shot here. You know, if you have the this is something we can clean up later too. Say we got some sort of curtain here. Got the tassels or whatever. The curtain. The dance floor here. We have some other characters, and we're just going to have them see. This is where you don't need much. And this is what I like about his simplicity. Our eye's going to focus on this couple. We have another couple back over here. Got a closer couple here. You sort of have the idea, and our focus is on these main characters here. So if we want them to be the focus, we could have them as the focus. So, and that's what's great about his work is like, even though I can shrink this down, come on computer, we could see what's going on in that shot, if that makes sense to you. And that's what makes it so cool of what you're doing. You know, you have this shot here. You can look at it far away. The clarity is there. It's simple. If I needed to, I could add another layer of grays to hone this in. Let's go 50% gray. To get your eye to focus on this. And you can sort of see that shot. Even though the shot is this so super small right there, you could, the clarity of that shot is so right on the dot. As we go forward, and it's just a simple shot. We drew it simply, and you sort of get the idea for that. I think the other thing that he did really nicely too is just, like I said, it's the simplisticness of the shots of what he's doing. Let's skip this so you can see the side by side comparison of this next sort of shot. Let's just say there's a shot here of some buildings. use let's use that our friend the lasso tool. Ellipse in here. You can sort of see when guys to combine all these shots together. And what's cool about how he works is, let's say this is that's shot 1 and shot 2. Over here was shot 1. The other sense of it too is a sense of pacing he does. like his pacing and story beats. So I have a figure. So what I'm looking at is I got the buildings, I got the moon in the background. We have some clotheslines here. He has the telephone poles or electrical lines here. We know we're looking up at into the moon. And then right here we have a character leaping across the buildings. So you sort of can see, you can leave a little bit of somebody's leaping across the buildings. Okay. In terms of the pacing of the work. Cool. So yeah, study his work. I think it's great to see. I got Gorillam. Good afternoon, Paul. I'm about to go over your videos to learn storyboards. Super cool. Appreciate you joining in on the live stream, my friend. Hope this is useful to you. Tonight we're studying the artwork of Darwyn Cooke and what can we learn about Darwin's style and his work, and what are the elements that you can bring into your own work, in terms of storyboard. So appreciate you joining in, my friend. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks. So we were talking about the simplicity and clarity of Darwin's images. So when we really shrink these images down, you sit in there and they're very clear and concise, both on the design side and the clarity of what's going on. And we could add another, frame 3 on here, or shot 3, as well as, there's not a lot of detail when I go and look at it closely, but we know 2 people are dancing the dance floor. Maybe we might have the silhouette of the band or somebody playing in the background. We have here the pacing and story beats. We're looking up into the buildings here, and we know we're in the inner city somewhere, and there's a character leaping across the screen. So very cool. And if I was to do another shot with this one here, maybe we might want to have, I think what Darwin does is and when you're thumbnailing, you don't need a lot of work on it. Just another layer on here, and I'm just thinking out loud while we're doing this. Just thinking out loud right now. And so I get the idea, a little too much work on this, but we're trying to have her swing across, so we're seeing her shadow across the city. Come on. Work with me, computer. There you go. As we're thumbnailing these out. We're sort of working in silhouette here. Darwin worked in silhouette as well. Quite a bit. So we sort of get the idea of how we're working this out. Yep. Of the beats. Cool. Gorillum says, I'm quite new to a lot of art stuff. I wanted to ask about your thoughts about the difference between comics and storyboarding, as I'm still quite knowledgeable, I am still quite unknowledgeable. I would like to know your thoughts. Mammoth17 says, passing feels like magic, like a story is creating itself at high points in the story, using facial expressions to add importance to a moment of the story. Cool. Let's go to Gorillum's question. It's a good question. I've been asked this question before. Let me just give you the difference here of between storyboarding and comic books. There is a huge distinction. They're both visual storytelling mediums. I think they are different. If you look at a comic panel, if you're looking at a Western comic, not a manga or anime, but you're looking at a Western comic, you're reading from left to right, top to bottom, and you're as a comic page layout. For a comic page layout, you're designing the layout. You have text along with the images, and you're pacing each of the panels to tell the story. The more panels you add, either the faster the action or the slower the action. and you're giving the reader time between each of the panels, which is called the gutter, to either you don't draw the image and you're thinking of what is the next image in the sequence in terms of what you're trying to do, but you're reading from like I said, left to right, top to bottom in terms of your sequence. And that gutter, that blank spot, that's why a lot of comics, you'll see them, here, let's draw that real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So if you're looking at a comic book page, let's just add a new layer here. Let's do it in blue or something. Okay, and so what you're doing is when you're looking at a comic page, you're looking at a page like this, and inside the page, just roughly, your eye is going from left, this is going to draw, to right, and it'll come back this way. And then when you get to here, so you're going left to right, in this sequence. And so if you think about it, we're going like this, we're going this way. In terms of our eyes, you know, and you may have word balloons that direct you to the conversations. With the characters. Like this character is talking to that character's got the close-up. This character's like talking back. This character is talking a little bit more. Hey, da 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 da. Then that character is here. That character is going to be walking out the door. And then here is, this is the page turn. Okay? And then you would flip the page in terms of a comic, if that makes sense to you. Okay? And that's how a comic is made. When you're storyboarding, so another thing back with comics again, with comics, each of these panels, these would be the panels. Make sure we have that. These would be the panels. Okay. These blank spots in here, between here and here, this would be the gutter. And so you're going from shot to shot, or it's not necessarily shot to shot, but you know, panel to panel to panel to panel. Okay. And in storyboards, we don't have gutters in storyboards. You have the picture frame. And what you're doing in the picture frame is you're showing every moment in time in sequence. And when we play this in front of our audience, it makes the movie that we're watching, the cartoon we're watching, because we're watching only one frame at a time. So if we have the same type of thing, we're not going to see the dialogue boxes or anything like that. We're just going to see every moment in time. We have our establishing shot. Where our two characters are talking to each other. And then this character might be talking to that character, like, hey, what's going on? And we'll do different shots. They're not panels, they're shots, so we'll be talking. Go back to this two shot, or maybe we go over the shoulder. Maybe go back to the two shot here. And we're seeing each one of those shots in that moment of time. And so if you're in the audience, and what we're seeing is we're seeing the movie theater of those characters, and we are sitting in the audience eating popcorn, watching the movie, or you're sitting in front of the TV or whatever. So that's how that works. It's the difference, I think. We call, like I said, a comic book is panel by panel, read left to right, top to bottom. In Western comics, there might be something epic going on. As you turn the page, it goes to what we call, the sort of the splash page, or the big epic establishing shot that we're trying to do. You're making up the time in between each of the gutters as you're telling your story. And then in storyboarding, you are actually telling each individual moment in time. And think of it like a film strip. You're doing every drawing for that film strip. 24 frames a second in your typical film. But we don't need to do that much detail, but you have the idea. And we're watching it as a single image, and the audience is eating popcorn and having fun with that. So I hope, Gorillum, I hope that helps you between the difference between the two. Cool. Whoops. Oh, I am so sorry, guys. Ay. Just got done drawing all this stuff. There we go. I'm so sorry. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so let's go back again real quick because it was a great point. Sorry about that, friends. Let's go back. Okay, so let's catch this up real quick so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the difference between a comic panel and a comic page and reading a comic versus storyboard is that on a comic page here, um, we're reading, like I said, left to right, top to bottom, in terms of reading each panel to tell the story. We have word balloons that we're reading, and we're going through the actions. Each panel is here, each shot in a sense, and then you have a gutter, and there's a gutter in between each of these panels. Okay, and with those panels, you as the reader of the comic, the comic book artist is letting you see the in-between shot in your mind's eye, in a sense. And you don't need to show every moment in time. You know, maybe these two guys are talking, and this guy's really angry, and this guy's, no, what are you talking about? The other guy says, I'm really angry. And then, you know, we get to this end point here where this box is, and we want the reader to turn the page. So we want it to be like super like engaging, and it's leaving us with a cliffhanger, and we're sitting there, and let me grab a comic. I'm sitting there reading the comic book, and I need to get to that next page, okay? And those are how Western comics work. Your brain is making up what is the in-between of each of the shots for your panels for your comic. Compared to storyboards, friends, we're creating every single shot every moment in time, okay? So, and sometimes they look like comics in a sense, and usually a lot of comic book artists become good storyboard artists. And when I first started off in my art career, I started off as a graphic illustrator and designer, and then I went into comics, and comics is how I got started. And then I was doing the first interactive comic books called a series called Reflux. They were on CD-ROM. I was doing that in college, and this company picked me up because I was already doing what they were doing in college, and they picked me up and hired me on, and got the opportunity. And I think my first storyboard project was based on what I was doing for comics, and I had to storyboard a huge fight sequence starting Jackie Chan, and that was my first storyboard, opportunity from there. And the difference, like I said, for storyboards is you're drawing each moment in time of the specific beats that you're trying to convey. You are working with your director to get to draw their vision of whether it be the feature animation or the live action film that you're doing, compared to I'm working at a comic book company, DC, Marvel, Image, whoever, and I'm getting a script, and I'm going to panel and lay out a page and have so many pages a day. I owe my, to have them approved to get inked and colored and stuff like that. Where here we're working with the director, or this director cinematographer. Sometimes we're working director cinematographer and the screenplay writer to create these story beats, and whether it be the full-blown rough storyboards or the story beats. And at the end of the day, like I drew this last quick little drawing, all these images are a single image when you're watching at the movie theater and the crowd's watching the movie of what you're doing. So I had my big poly up, but that's the difference for that. Gorilla, hope that answers your question. Let me know. Cool. And then Mammoth 17, passing feels like magic, the story is creating itself at high points in the story. Use facial expressions and add importance to a moment in the story. Yeah, definitely. When you do a close-up, like they say, it's the window to the soul, and you have a lot of your actors, in a sense, when you're shooting for coverage, you're shooting a film, it usually starts very wide and sort of works its way into that special moment. So Mammoth 17, you're absolutely correct. You're going to get right into that face, that character, because that's where actors do their best work. You know, when it's a full shot, that's pretty much all your body language and movement, and how are you moving in that environment. Establishing is how is the character in that environment, and then that close up. As you get closer and closer, you're taking out the background and you're seeing the emotion. And so if it's, you know, it's a epic war picture or something like that, and one of the soldiers falls in battle, and you want a close up of the soldier, you know, dropping down his helmet and, you know, just wiping away, you know, the sweat, blood, and tears, and going off to the next thing. You know what I mean? That's where you would zoom in, or a special moment, the first kiss in the romance movie or whatever it might be. So that's what you would be doing there. So cool. I hope that answered everybody's question. Cool. Thanks. So I'm just reading through all the text, all everybody's chat. Okay, okay. So Marianne, the drawing is not showing. Buddha Billy says, "You're on, Big Polly." Cool. And then Brand Carpenter, welcome. We can't see your board. Yeah, got it. Cool. We got that. Missed that lesson. We did it. Just found you. So Brand Carpenter says, "Just found you today, Polly. Absolutely blown away, dude." Hey, no problem at all. I'm glad you guys found me, and it takes some time. We've been doing this now for going on 8 months now, 3 times a week. So I do have 3 different live streams I do throughout the week. Mondays I do my storyboarding basics, mastering the basics, how to storyboard lessons that are on Mondays. Nights like tonight, we do our Sketching After Hours, sort of like our happy hour to sketch. We're doing a little bit more teaching tonight because I really wanted to dive a little bit deeper into Darwyn Cooke and how you can learn from that comic artist and how to put it into your storyboard work. And then on Saturdays, we have our storyboard jam sessions where I just storyboard a sequence and we sort of hang out. And then starting last week, we've done a few of these. If I have a few minutes here and there, I'll just do a quick little traditional sketch session and be happy to do that. So so cool. Brand, thanks so much for oh yeah, hey, grill him. Hey, thanks so much. Let me check that out, man. That's really cool. Thank you so much. Let me just check here. Cool. Well, that was really generous of you, Grillam. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love the coffee, and thank you for your donation of coffees. I will keep drinking them. But thank you so much. I'll keep coming to you, my friend. I look forward to bring you guys some more lessons and some different ways that we can get together. What Grillam is talking about is Grillam just donated to Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm not sponsored by Buy Me a Coffee. I just have it as a donation tip jar. So Grillam, thank you so much for your tip. Super appreciate you doing that. If other folks would like to see the Buy Me a Coffee, go for it. And if you enjoyed what you've learned today and learned something new from the live stream, you know, of course, I love having a coffee. So the link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, I'd super appreciate that. I'm looking forward to using this platform a lot more too. And we're going to be doing a lot more with that. I'm trying to put together, so if anybody is interested in, I'm trying to put together just a quick group of folks. A lot of you have been with me since the very beginning. Some of you have been here with me for a while. And I'm trying to put together like a membership so you can sort of meet with me one-on-one or whichever. And this platform with Buy Me a Coffee is just, I thought it was really exciting because it doesn't give you at home have to go through a bunch of hoops like Patreon or other platforms where you have to sign up, you have to log in each time type of thing. And you know, what I liked about Buy Me a Coffee, it was like sort of no frills. You don't get hit with a ton of emails. You don't have to sign up. If you'd like to make a tip, cool, awesome. But I like the platform because we can set up one-on-one individual mentoring sessions. We can also set up a membership program. So I'm reaching out to all you friends out there. So if this is something you'd like to meet with me personally, or like to dive a little bit further into it, I'd really like to get some feedback to understand, what you would like to learn, and sort of have I'm trying to put together what we call a founders membership, and just to get some feedback and be able to talk back and forth a little bit, whether it be through Google Meet or something where we can just have some time and just chit chat and get to know each other a little bit, and see how I could help you even further before starting up memberships or one-on-ones and stuff like that. I also have some other things that hopefully in the next couple months here we'll get up onto Gumroad as well. So appreciate all the help, and if that's something you'd like to do, let me throw up my contact information real quick, and you can reach me via email at mr.paul.angeli, that's Angeli, @gmail.com, mr.paul.angeli@gmail.com. You could also DM me over on Instagram. Look under my handle, Mr. Paul Angeli. I'd love to be able to reach out to folks. So if you would like to be part of my founders membership program, let me know if that's something that you would like to partake in, and we could set up a time to chit chat a little bit. And I'd love to hear your feedback of how I could help you get to where you need to go. I'll leave this one more time before we close out, but there's my contact information for those. But again, Grillen, thank you so much for the coffees. Super appreciate you. And, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, let's get back real quick into our topic here for tonight of Darwyn Cooke. And let me turn these off real quick. So we've got everybody understands the difference between comic books and storyboards here. And now we're back over here. So we were talking about Darwyn Cooke, and I really ask you folks, check out his work, look through his comic work. Yeah, some of these shots are similar to the ones he has, trying to show his sort of style in terms of what he is doing there, and just very graphic. It's simple, and we could sort of do another quick little board here. We'll work a little bit quicker. And he predominantly did everything with superheroes. He did have some military stuff that he worked on too. But and what I like about his work, when you're looking at his comic work and how do you put that into your storyboards, is we were talking about rhythms and beats, and when I think about it, it's like a musical song when you're boarding and stuff, and when you're working. And what I like about his work is it's sort of like how did I write that? I wrote a note to myself to remind you guys. There's different types of ways. It's like it's sort of like the where, who, what. Each pace of each shot he has. It's like it's like, where are we at? Who's in the shot? And what is it that we're doing? And it goes again and again and again. And I think there's different ways that you can work in terms of your boarding, and sometimes we can go moment to moment in terms of our boards, or we can go action to action. Throw a punch, get hit, those type of things. or you can go subject to subject, you know, meaning like whatever the subject you're working on, or you go from scene to scene to scene, you know, in terms of what you're doing is you're paneling to show time and to show pace. And that might be something that we can save for a different lecture, and but it's something to go over. And what I mean by that, just really quick too, is if I was going to do 3 shots here, let's use some of our board panels here. And let's do it like this. And we're just going to go, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's use this blue color here. So let's go like this. So I have a road here. I have a road here. I have my character here. I have a character here. We have something going on right there. Let's say we have a vehicle, like a Mack truck type of. The driver's here. Let's move this character here. A little bit of shadow and just sort of storyboarding this out. Okay. There's something coming at this character. Next shot. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Character is going to be right here. And it ends up being another truck. Coming. So we're going a little bit closer. So 1, 2, and then the other. Let's grab that other car, tractor. That other tractor is going to come a little bit closer. because now we got some danger coming on. That this one is coming even closer. We're zooming in each time. And then what we can do, oops. Now we're getting some real peril because truck is coming this way. We had that. We have that other guy right here. He's going to get squashed with the other one, but they put the brakes on. Let's just say we got this. As we zoom out real quick, you can see the 3 shots here. Something's going on off screen. The character gets in a position and their truck is coming. The truck comes slamming through. The character catches it. The other bus is coming through, or the other truck is coming through. And then here in the final stage, the bus comes to a halt and the characters stopped it. The other one stopped just in time not to squash the character too. So if you think about it, what we can learn from Darwin is that bam, bam, bam. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So he's got patterns in how he does his drawings and his storytelling. So you sit there and you think of something so simple. How could you use that for your storyboards and have some fun with it? So again, we've learned a lot tonight, friends. We've learned quite a bit, you know. Definitely check out Darwin's work. in terms of, you know, readability, clarity, simplification in terms of the drawings that we're doing here tonight. Let me turn these off here. Oops. We talked quite a bit, a lot of different things here. Let's turn some of these off here. So again, from the beginning that we talked about, let's make sure everything's turned off. Is do master studies, review other artists' style and work. You know, study the why and technique of how they create their art. Don't copy, but take the items you like about their work and put those points into your work. It might be how they sketch a hand. It might be how they use color. It might be how they use tone. Maybe they do great action sequences. I don't know what it is, but figure out what that is and incorporate that into your style. And then who would you research or study? You know, there's a lot of folks out there that you can learn from in terms of your work. You know, other comic artists, you know, animators, illustrators, painters, sculptors, other storyboard artists. There's fantastic storyboard artists out there, and you have both live action, animated, you know, television, video, you know, all different types of storyboard artists. Children's book illustrators are also good, and then of course filmmakers. And I know I was talking to a few people, and it was suggested let's go into filmmakers. Let's go and, you know, do a master study on somebody like Sir Ridley Scott, for those that like Alien and Gladiator and the Napoleon movie, or Steven Spielberg or something like that. I'd have fun. Let me know in the chat if that's something that you'd like to do. Where's the other? So again, I hope everybody had a good time tonight. I had a great time working with you folks and teaching and having fun. Again, we went over everything for Darwyn Cooke. And if you get a chance, check out his work. Very talented artist. Unfortunately, is no longer with us, but there's a lot to learn from his work and how you could add it into your boards. Again, if you had a great time and you enjoyed yourselves, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. I'd super appreciate it. Make sure you hit that bell notification button so you can be notified the next time I post, which will most likely be on Saturday for our storyboard jam session, getting the plans together for that. And then also too, like I said before, if you feel inclined, I'd appreciate it if if you donated a coffee. Appreciate it. And again, thank you to Gorillum. I really appreciate the coffees you sent over. Appreciate that. Thank you. And you know, I will leave you with my contact information. I hope you guys had a great time tonight. Any last questions before we closed out for the night? Let me know real quick. I'll give it another minute or so here. I got to get up early tomorrow and get back to work and get going. So if there's any other questions, drop it in the chat real quick. Give it a second here. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, the difference between comics and stuff, you know, just, you know, is to turn those pages of those comics, you know, and big difference than watching it on a film screen. So other than that, doesn't look like, give it a second more here. Cool. Okay, friends, have a great night. You know, I hope you learned a lot. Use this, put it into your sketches, put it into your sketch work, in your storyboard work. I'm excited for you to tell your stories and hit your passion for visual storytelling. I'll leave you with my contact information one more time. If you'd like to be part of that founders membership, let me know, and I'd be happy to chat with you further. Have a great night. I will see you on Saturday. And in the meantime, there's plenty of videos to watch here on the channel to learn more from. Till then, I'll see you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.